The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the dusty plains, and the rancher, Colton Hayes, wiped sweat from his brow as he checked the coral. Life on the ranch was lonely. The wide open spaces offered freedom but also isolation. Rumors had reached him. Whispers in town that someone was seeking a husband, and perhaps, he thought wryly, the timing was perfect. As Colton stepped toward the porch of the general store, two figures emerged from the crowd. They were identical twins, strikingly alike in every detail: dark hair, sharp green eyes, and an uncanny resemblance that made him blink twice. They wore matching sundresses, smiles confident yet teasing. "We heard you want a wife," one said boldly, voice melodic and assured. "We are perfect for you." Colton raised an eyebrow, unsure whether to laugh or retreat. "Perfect for me," he said cautiously, scanning them from head to toe. There was no malice in their eyes, only a spark of mischief and a promise of adventure.
"Yes,"
the other twin chimed in, finishing her sister's sentence. "We can bring laughter, loyalty, and warmth. You don't have to choose. We'll make it easy." The rancher's heart thudded with a mixture of curiosity and caution. He had always been practical, reserved, and skeptical of sudden surprises. Yet something about their boldness and charm stirred an unfamiliar excitement. He invited them to the ranch, under the pretense of discussing arrangements, though inwardly he had no idea what he was agreeing to. As they rode back across the rolling hills, their laughter echoing against the wind, Colton couldn't help but marvel at the energy they brought. For years, solitude had defined him, but now, the prospect of companionship, two sisters in spirit, two hearts, seemed almost too magical to be true. If you're curious how a lonely rancher ends up in an unexpected adventure with identical twins, hit like and subscribe. The story is only just beginning. By the next morning, the twins had settled into the ranch, helping with chores, cooking, and even wrangling the stubborn horses. Colton watched them work side by side. Impressed by their harmony and coordination, they moved with an unspoken understanding, completing each other's sentences and anticipating each other's actions as if reading one mind. The ranch, which had always been quiet and orderly, now resonated with laughter, playful teasing, and the occasional argument, all harmless, all human. Colton felt warmth in his chest, a feeling he had long forgotten. They made even mundane tasks feel lively. Feeding the cattle, mending fences, and tending the vegetable garden became opportunities for connection and shared smiles. Evenings were spent by the fireplace, where stories flowed freely. The twins shared tales of their youth, their dreams, and their reasons for seeking a rancher who needed companionship. Colton listened intently, realizing that their presence had already softened the loneliness that had gripped him for years. He began to appreciate the unique bond they shared, not just with each other, but with him as well. However, tension lingered beneath the surface. He wondered how it would be possible to love them both, fully and equally, without causing jealousy or hurt. The twins, perceptive as ever, seemed to sense his inner turmoil, offering gentle reassurances. "We are stronger together," they said in unison, "and that includes you." By the time the sun set over the prairie, painting the sky in gold and crimson, Colton realized he had made a choice. He would accept them both not just as companions, but as a family that could redefine the meaning of home and love. Life on the ranch wasn't without challenges. Drought threatened the crops, the cattle became restless, and neighboring ranchers whispered about the unusual arrangement. Colton faced skepticism and judgment from others, but he remained resolute. The twins, equally strong-willed, supported him unwaveringly, offering encouragement, laughter, and steadfast loyalty. One afternoon, a sudden storm forced them to secure the livestock. The twins worked tirelessly, often side by side, never faltering in the face of danger. Colton realized their bond wasn't just playful or convenient. It was built on trust, courage, and a shared determination to protect the life they were creating together. Nightfall brought relief, and they gathered by the fireplace, sharing warmth and gratitude. The twins' smiles were soft now, quieter, more intimate, and Colton felt a deep, undeniable affection for them both. He finally understood that love could take many forms, and that family wasn't limited to convention. As weeks turned into months, the ranch flourished under their combined care. Crops thrived, cattle thrived, and Colton's heart bloomed in ways he had never imagined. Every day brought moments of laughter, gentle teasing, and shared triumphs, a harmony he had only dreamed of in his solitary years. The first snow of winter blanketed the ranch in silence, serene and pure, transforming the vast prairie into a glittering white expanse. Inside the cabin, a fire crackled warmly, illuminating the wooden beams and casting long shadows on the walls. Colton sat in his chair, flanked by the twins, their hands resting gently on his arms. Their closeness was comforting, a tangible proof that his decision to welcome them both into his life had been the right one. The twins, though identical in appearance, had settled into the rhythm of ranch life in their own unique ways. One of them hummed softly while mending the worn-out saddle, her eyes occasionally flicking toward Colton with a teasing sparkle. The other carefully folded freshly laundered blankets, glancing up now and then to share a quiet laugh with her sister. It was a simple domestic scene, yet charged with intimacy, trust, and the beauty of shared companionship. Colton leaned back, letting the warmth of the fire seep into his bones. For the first time in years, he felt whole. The loneliness that had once gnawed at his spirit was gone, replaced by a sense of belonging he had never imagined. Each twin had brought something essential into his life: courage, laughter, tenderness, and an uncanny ability to make every task feel lighter, every worry seem smaller. As snowflakes tapped softly against the window panes, Colton reflected on the journey that had brought them here. The townspeople's whispers, the doubts he had felt, the challenges of ranch life, all seemed distant now. The twins had not only joined his life, they had transformed it. They were partners in every sense, their bond unshakable, their love a force that made the ranch more than a home. The twins leaned closer, resting their heads against his shoulders. "We're not just here to stay," one whispered. "We're here to build a life with you." Colton smiled, his heart full, realizing that love, in its truest form, was about trust, support, and the courage to embrace the unconventional. Outside, the prairie stretched endlessly, each snow-covered hill and silent tree a promise of tomorrow. Inside, the cabin was alive with warmth, laughter, and the beginnings of a family unlike any other. Colton knew that whatever storms might come, they would face them together, bound by loyalty, love, and the rare magic of connection that had started with two bold, identical voices saying, "We are perfect for you." The night deepened, and the fire's glow painted the room in golden hues. It was a new chapter, one filled with hope, joy, and the certainty that life on the ranch would never again be lonely. Together, they would face every sunrise, every challenge, and every adventure as one unstoppable and unwavering. If this heartwarming tale of love, courage, and family touched you, hit like and subscribe. More cinematic Wild West